Hello. In this module, we're going to talk about the computer workstation survey. And it's kind of looks like this. It's in the module. You should download it and print it because you're going to need it. And what you're going to do is take this thing, and your assignment is do a survey. You can do a survey, preferably somebody that you know at work. Somebody that's sitting down at a computer workstation. I'm sure one of you will find the next. If you need to come into Carl Albert, you can do that. You could do that. You check with Mrs. McConnell. She can get somebody to do it for you. You can go into the office room where Mrs. McConnell's at. I'm sure somebody there will have to do it to you too. So you complete the form and do a report on it. And that's the assignment for this particular portion of the module. And when you do this, assume that the person is at work, even if they're not, and they're working 8 hours a day. Now, so we're going to get to the form here and get started. All right. Well, didn't do that right, did I? Let me get this up here again. Share the screen. There we go. That's what I needed to do. There we go. Now I got it. Okay. Let's share the screen here and get this up to full screen. The heading on this thing is just about, there's no explanation, just read it and fill it in. You don't need to put the person's name on this. I don't care who it is. So just don't worry about the name, and the other stuff you can put in the heading, but that's there for obvious reasons, but I don't need to know all that stuff particularly. Again, we're going to assume that they're working all day at this particular job that they're doing. So we're going to go over each part of it. Seat height. Feet rest comfortably on the floor or foot rest with thighs parallel to the floor and hips at a height equal to or slightly above knee height. Possible solutions. Now, each one of these has this and then a yes or no, and then possible solutions. And these are possible solutions are already on the form. That doesn't mean they're the only solutions. You can come up with more than that. But if there's a problem there, some of the possible solutions are adjust a chair or a footrest. Again, maybe a whole new chair might be in order, but these are possible solutions. The seat height, if there's a problem with the seat height. Seat pan, this is support the thighs. The user should be able to fit 2 fingers between the backs of the knee and the edge of the seat. Seat pan should not be significantly shorter or longer than the length of the thighs. Again, it says the user should be doing it. Don't you be sticking your fingers there. Let them do it. Again, possible solutions. Again, footrest might help. Lumbar support, different chair maybe. The seat. Does the seat cushion have a rounded front edge? Is the seat pan wider than the hip breadth of the user? And that's possible solution. There's probably just going to be a different chair. Backrest. Does it provide adequate lumbar support and buttocks clearance without interfering with movement? It's on the back of the chair. The most pronounced part of the backrest should coincide with the middle of the user's lumbar area, the small of the back. Between 5.9 and 9.8 inches for the seat pan. Now, why they come up with 5.9 and 9.8 instead of just saying 6 to 10 is beyond me, but that's what it said, or where I got this information from. Possible solutions are adjust the backrest and some kind of a lumbar support. Backrest. Is the backrest wide and high enough to support the torso? Possible solutions there, it's just a different chair. That's just the whole backrest of the chair. Armrest. Do they adjust to a height that's comfortable for the user and avoid hunched shoulders, whether they're too high, or slouching, armrests are too low, while allowing the user to get close enough to work while sitting back in the chair? Possible solutions there, pretty much just a different chair. The armrest adjusts to a width that comfortably fit the user's hips and allow the user to easily exit, enter a chair, and perform his or her tasks. Minimum separation, 18 inches. Never saw one that was a problem like this, but I guess it could be. Possible solution, adjust armrests, able to remove them if necessary, or get a different chair. Casters and base. Does a chair have a stable base supported by 5 legs with casters and swiveled 360 degrees? And the only way to fix that, I guess, is to get a different chair. I'm probably going to find that most of them do. Does the chair roll easily? Casters appropriate for the floor surface. There's different types of casters for different types of floors. I'm going to take a Again, I mean, I guess here we'll think that almost all office chairs or in whether in use are on a some kind of a plastic mat, like I have here even in my house. Because they don't roll with the darn on carpet. They could, they had the right casters roll on carpet, but if you have somebody sitting at a desk rolling around on carpet all day, you're going to be buying a lot of carpet. So probably just going to put one of these mats down and roll on those. That's going to be probably the most of the time it's going to be rolling on one of those mats. Possible solutions there: chair mat or different casters. Is there adequate clearance beneath the workstation for the user to get close enough to the task, maintain freedom of movement, and then not come into contact with obstructions? Possible solutions there: different work surface or raise or lower the work surface. Are the monitor and keyboard directly in front of the user? Possible solutions there: just rearrange the workstation or just rearrange those two if you can. Is the work surface with the keyboard positioned at seated elbow height? Seated elbow height is measured with the feet resting comfortably on the floor or footrest and the back positioned against the backrest of the chair. The upper arms are close to the sides with the elbows at a 90-degree angle. Seated elbow height is a distance from the floor to the bony protrusion of the elbow. Possible solutions: adjust the work surface, keyboard tray or chair, or height adjustable keyboard tray, leg lifters for the desk, or different work surface. Is the mouse located at the same height as the keyboard, at elbow height, within close reach? When keying or using the mouse, the upper arms should be close to the body. Elbows approximately 90 degrees with forearms parallel to the floor and wrists straight. Well, that is really important to keep those wrists straight, not like this or this. Possible solution: mouse bridge or platform, keyboard tray, alternative, or wireless mouse. I would think most of them are probably wireless by now. Are frequently used support equipment, phone, documents, stapler, etc., within 14 to 18 inches, with occasionally used items within 22 to 26 inches. Two-handed reaches are shorter than single-handed reaches, and reaches for items over 10 pounds should be performed standing. Possible solution, again, rearrange the workstation. Is the monitor located about arm's length away from the users, a minimum of 15.7 inches? Monitor distance depends on the user's eyesight and possible corrective vision use and the monitor depth. So there's other factors there, but it should be a decent way away from them, about arm's length away from the user. Possible solutions, again, rearrange the workstation or suggest the employee see a personal eye care specialist if need be. Is the monitor height measured from the top row of characters on the screen, not the top of the monitor itself, but the top row of characters on the screen, at a height equal to or 20 degrees below the user's seated eye height, measured from the corner of the eye when the person is looking straight ahead? The monitor should be located so the user does not have to bend the neck back or forward to see clearly. Possible solutions: elevator, lower the monitor, rise or with arm with it on an arm type of thing that can move it, or elevate the chair. Are the monitor images clear and stable, free of dust or glare or reflection? Possible solutions: add task lighting, rearrange workstations so monitor is perpendicular to a light source, in other words, off to the side, glare screen, change lighting or blinds during the day. Is the employee comfortable while receiving phone calls which require him or her to type while speaking? Possible solution: telephone headrest, and that's so you don't get somebody holding their phone like this all the time. Does the employee type in a neutral posture without using the wrist rest? A wrist rest should be used for resting. The arm should float above the keyboard in a neutral position, straight wrist when typing. Keyboard should be flattened or at a negative tilt as close to the user as possible. Key possible solutions there: retrain the employee. If the employee references documents while typing, are they located in a holder next to, in front of, or at an equal distance to the monitor and not resting flat on the desk? Document position depends on eyesight, the document itself, and screen font and task parameters. So there's a lot of factors in there. You can rearrange the workstation, but a good idea is to get a document holder that you put up right next to the screen. That way the screen and the document are both the same distance from your eyes, and you don't have to move too much to see what you're typing into. But again, sometimes that document might have real little typing. You might have to have it closer. So Is the worker able to get up from the computer on a regular basis? Typing for less than 6 hours a day. Sit, stand, workstation maybe. Is the mouse appropriate for the task, and is the user operating it with minimal force? Thumb-operated trackballs are typically not recommended for extended daily use. Maybe a lot of us, older than probably most of the class, have gone through that phase with the thumb-operated trackball and find out they're really not as good, and nothing can take the place of a good old-fashioned mouse. Possible alternatives or solutions or alternative input device or input device size to the user. Special considerations. This employee requires special consideration due to physical extremes or special medical conditions. Now, this one you want to check with a supervisor. This is something you might want to handle, get somebody else involved to handle it. But for instance, maybe HR, if somebody has some special needs, you might have to get somebody else involved in it. Maybe have somebody in your company that even deals with that. But generally speaking, then most of the time, that's not going to come into play. But if it does, by all means, don't give up on the person. By all means, try to help them, but you're probably just going to have to get somebody else to help you out. So that's the thing on this computer monitoring survey, computer workstation survey. Do one, like I said, do one especially. Try to get someone who's at work with it, not with a laptop, with a desktop computer. Even if they don't do it all day long, assume that they do for the purposes of this. And if you can, as you can see in the instructor's comments, want to report on it, want to say what you did, what you found, what you suggest, and don't do one and say you come up with nothing. That's just not part of this. You got to find something with somebody. If you can't find something with somebody, go to somebody else. Again, if you need somebody to do it, call Mrs. McConnell. Come down to her office and somebody down there can help you out. So that's it for this one. Goodbye or adios.